button. This one was, don't read too much into this one. This was just a test for me, and it's getting a little warm in here. You know, it's almost the spring season. Let's turn this fan on because this is the show with hot questions and even hotter questions. Okay, here we go. Would you push the button? For anybody not familiar, it's a little bit like Would You Rather, but all of the questions were invented by 15-year-olds on the internet in 2013. Next. Will you press the button? Your organism can clear every infection, bacteria, viruses, within 9 days without any symptoms or ill effects for yourself. During those 9 days, though, you are highly contagious. Skin contact is almost certainly inhaling the same air or touching the same items, very likely to get others infected. No, I choose no for this. Absolutely. I will not push the button. Somebody said, the top comment here says, I will not push the button because I couldn't get through the train wreck of a question. I will not push the button. I mean, it's not that much of a this is kind of just describing almost real life. If your immune system is good. It's like you can clear most bacterial infections and you get maybe some ill symptoms, don't get me wrong. You know, it might be out of commission for a couple of days, but you're contagious. This is just, I don't know. I mean, you could just, it's the thing is you could say yes and then quarantine, but how do you know you're infectious if you don't have any symptoms for it? You know? You can be the main hero in any video game you choose, but you can never leave that game. I feel like, as always, this is a very classic question in Would You Rather, which is like, life in the suburban Midwest is no fun. Would you be in an anime if everybody in that anime loved you forever? I would, honestly, I'm content with my real life right now. I will not push the button. But who else thought, does Sword Art Online count? I think everybody's been saying it. 55% of people said push the button. Absolutely. Next question, please. After you die, you will be reborn into a parallel universe as the person you always wished you could be and have a perfect body, have a perfect soul. You can only remember the bad things from this life and you will be forced to relive them in your dreams. Okay. After you die, you will be reborn into a parallel universe as the person you always wished you could be and have a perfect body. But you can only remember the bad things in this life, and you'll be forced to relive them in your dreams. I agree with Chad on this one. This seems like a free extra life. And it's a good life. You just have bad dreams. Many people are going through this in the real world to begin with. You know, recurring nightmares and stuff like that. I will push the button. The consequence that's bad it pales in comparison to the benefit of the reward here. 59% push the button. I have no idea who Blake Belladonna is. Frick it, I am Blake Belladonna now. Let me guess. Is from Genshin Impact? They're from the Rooster Teeth anime Ruby. Okay. I have to crop this before you can read the comment. I hate to say it. I thought the comments would be fine. This one is not fine. I'm going to have to go to the overlay for a second. But you can control the thoughts and feelings of a single person. But you will randomly lose control of your body for 1 hour every day that you control that person. Okay, so you can mind control somebody. But for every day that you do it, I'm not going to get into the synopsis of whether if you do it for a second, does that count as a day? Or, what if you did it for 23.9 hours instead? You will lose control of your body for an hour every day that you control that person. Honestly, I mean, if you use it to be a bad person and get them to give you all of their money or something like that, but then someone's going to make you lose all your money in that hour as well. I choose. I would not push the button. I don't want that kind of that free power. But you could use it on Jeff Bezos and he could give you all his money. Yeah, but then he could use it on you and give him all your money now. You can't beat him, man. Anyway, so just take my word for this right now. I am choosing not to hit the button, and then I'm trying to make sure that I have a screen capture that will not capture top comments without my permission. I didn't push the button. 51% of the human population did push the button, which is a bit of a scary thought in and of itself. And we're coming back here. There you go. Is it possible that the top comment said you could mind control somebody to make love in an orifice? Yes, I would say that that's a safe bet. You could, I would say that's a safe bet that that's what the top comment says. Shocker. Will you press the button? You become the world's most intelligent person, but you get no credit for any of your work. Okay, so this is just called living my life. That being said, would I want this? I don't know. I mean, who cares, you know? I feel like it's way more valuable to be super smart than to get credit. I don't want credit necessarily. Credit is low down Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You could use the intelligence and manifest things for yourself that were more important than the appreciation of others. I would push the button in my world. 61% say yes. I agree. I agree on that for sure. You will get to FAP to one family member of your choice, but they will catch you fapping to them. I will not press the button, and I will move on without even... Just get me out of here. Come on! You can choose a friend or pet from anyone real or not. You could choose a friend or pet from anyone real or not. But you become extremely emotional and easily get depressed. So you could make a fictional character your friend, but you would become extremely emotional and easily get depressed. I will not. No, that's a heavy no. Okay, honestly, I'm starting to believe that people got their heads screwed on straight here. You can enter the Pokemon world and cross between it and your world forever, but you must travel with Ash. I mean, again, it's one of those things where I'm like, obviously this question was written by someone who's about 11 years old. However, what's the downside? It doesn't say you must. It's like you can enter the Pokemon world and you can cross between it and your world at will. I would hit the button. Why wouldn't you hit the button? You get to enter into the Pokemon world and leave as you choose. There's nothing wrong with that. 69% of people said yes. Nothing wrong with that. You have to travel with Ash? Yeah, then when you get sick of him, you just come back to the real world. Oh my god. I don't think we might have to pivot. These are not vetted. Oh my god. This is a question about Obama death panels. It's like, what year is it, man? This is from the 2008 era internet. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. All right, like I'm gonna vet the questions in advance. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Here's your next question. You become the most intelligent person alive, but you don't understand pop culture references. Who on earth would say no to this? Heavy no? What are you talking about? This is... This is anti-me. Yeah, I'm the stupidest person alive, and I understand every pop culture reference. I push the button, of course. It's your career. I would pivot jobs. I would be the most intelligent person alive. I would pivot. Plus, nobody else makes pop culture references. It's just me. I'm the only person who makes pop culture references. Just because I don't understand them doesn't mean I can't make them. Next question. Is a classic genre of would you rather question. You could live anywhere in the world you want, but your hometown would be destroyed. Okay, so I could get a plane ticket, but 150,000 people would be wiped out, and at the very least economically devastated as they lost their homes and their history. I would choose not to hit the button. But you could live in Paris. You could live in, if you push the button though, you could live in Tokyo. You could live in Tokyo, man. I will not push the button. Okay. 49% of people push the button. That's scary. There's so many edgelords. The top comment here says no downside. Oh, somebody was mean to me in high school. Ergo, I hope like thousands of people will get wiped out so that I can live, in a place where I can wear yukata. Okay, weirdo. That comment is from over a decade ago. Joe, I hope you've gotten your head straight, okay? Okay, I mean, it's a dilemma. You become physically healthy as possible and will live 120 plus years, but you will have the appearance of being morbidly obese for the rest of your life. Honestly, I click the button. Yeah. 28% of people push the button. Physically healthy as possible, will live 120 plus years. These are things that I'm positive about. Assuming, I'm sure that after 90, your quality of life is going to be a little bit compromised, but you're physically healthy as possible. You're at like the upper maximum. And then, people maybe will judge me, but they won't know. Like, they can judge me all they want when I'm, bench pressing 700 pounds and then, like, pushing, destroying them in marathons and stuff like that. I think this is an easy one for me. That's an easy one. Next question. Still bald? Doesn't matter. Didn't ask. But I'm still bald. Plus, you're bald. That's it. Another anime question. You can understand any language, but it randomly changes each week. What does that even mean? You can understand any language, but it changes. What? All of them change? What's changing? Top comment 5 years ago. Never specified what changes, so I understand all languages. Time to watch anime. So is the question here, so every week you understand one random language, but it changes every week. Well, and then there's a secondary question. Do I also still understand English? If I understand English to the level I currently do, and then every week I also get one extra language that rotates in and out, then there's no downside. If I lose English and have a random language proficiency once a week, no. I choose no for that. English is very important for me where I live right now. You could definitely get some cultural enrichment, don't get me wrong. But, when it pivots to, I mean, like, you can come up with any variety of languages, right? Yeah, like it's Elvish week. I'll be like, oh. I don't even know how to fake speaking Elvish, so let's not even worry about it. I will not push the button either way. The only two words that popped into my head were frilly croissant. I will not push the button. 66% of people prefer dubs over subs. Okay, fair enough. Next question. You can be on any TV show of your choosing, but the entire cast and crew hates you. This is a very complicated question, I think. Because being on a TV show could come with some perks, right? Like if you came on a very popular TV show, if you were on for like a main cast role, it could make your, you can make your career maybe. Although it sounds like you're not going to get too many good references. But you could probably parlay that into some form of success. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I think I would hit the button. I don't think I would care. Like if I could go on Jeopardy, I would actually. If I could choose, I would go on Wheel of Fortune because it's easier money. But if I could go on Jeopardy and the casting crew hates me, I don't care. I'm probably gonna be done in like 21 minutes anyway and never come back. But what's the downside? A couple of people are like, oh, that guy's a D-hole. Welcome to kind of being on the internet in this presence to begin with. I will push the button. 33% of people push the button. 67% of people care too much about what strangers think of them. Oh my God, I can't read this question. I'll give you the gist of this question, okay? You save your child from a fatal accident, but they go on to be an adult film star. I would push the button. 38% of people would not push the button. They would rather see their child killed in an accident. Okay, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, here's an interesting question for you. Will you press the button? Comic Sans becomes illegal, which is a positive, of course, but everyone is now required to use only Time New Roman. I actually would prefer not to push the button here. I would like it if Comic Sans remained legal, because Comic Sans and Papyrus are basically the sirens of fonts. If you see a restaurant and their menu is written in either of those fonts, you should get up from the table and leave, because it means that they can't be trusted. You should not give that business your money. If you get I've been watching a lot of like 2006 to 2010 era kitchen nightmares. The number of UK restaurants in that era that use papyrus on their menus is staggering. It's like 80% of menus are written in papyrus. It's especially if it's like not English cuisine. If it's like worldly cuisine, it doesn't matter. Egyptian, Indian, Mediterranean, it's all written in papyrus. I have no idea why. Anyway, I will not push the button. All fonts should stay legal, except Wingdings. You're not gonna like this one, Chad. It's not offensive, but you are gonna go like, ew. Okay, you ready? You will become the richest and most attractive person in the world, but you will receive paper cuts between each of your toes each morning when you wake up. No loopholes. I respect that they put in no loopholes here. Okay, let me. So, most attractive person in the world. If I was like 17, that'd move the needle for me. Richest person in the world. You could do a lot of good. I mean, you could glorify yourself as well. But think of it. Every morning you get 8 paper cuts. They're probably going to hurt like a son of a gun. Eventually, they're going to be so calloused. You're going to be like John Turturro in Mr. Deeds, Like your foot is just going to be immune to all pain. But to be the richest person in the world, you could accomplish amazing, selfless things. You just to take 8 paper cuts. It doesn't seem that bad. I would press the button. 52% said yes. It says no loopholes, and then the top comment says, wake up in the afternoon instead. I found a loophole. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. This game's supposed to illuminate your principles, okay? Not your ability to ask, rhetorical questions. Get yourself out of a Harry Houdini-style conversational straitjacket, you weirdo. Just answer the question, Poindexter. Alex. Okay. I think this question is busted. I think this is a trick question. You have all the money you will ever need, but you must drink 1 cup of dishwater every day. This seems like a double-edged sword. All the money you could ever want for a cup of dishwater every day, probably not so bad. You'd get over it, I think. All the money you ever need is going to be a big difference between the money you need and the money you want. So I think that this is meant to be a trick question. You know what I mean? I think that this is one where this is like Elizabeth Hurley would pose this question to you in Bedazzled, and you would be so bedazzled you would say yes, and then all of a sudden you drink the dishwater and she would hand you like $15 and be like, go to the dollar store and buy yourself some cans of soup. So I choose not to push the button. 59% of people push the button. It is different. Like if you consider that probably the audience that is on this website is mostly like kids and teenagers, like for a kid to drink a little dishwater, they'll get over it. And then, if you got $15 a day, you would be like, hey, Poggy, it's a movie ticket every day. Okay, will you press the button? It's a weird one. You will be granted 3 wishes, but you cannot wish for more wishes, and the first wish must be given to your worst enemy. I would push the button. Here's the way I look at this. Two free wishes. My worst enemy would have to be incredibly stupid to be like, I'm going to use my wish to kill you or something like that. Can you imagine if you got one wish? How much of a loser would you have to be if you got one wish and instead of your wish being like to, have unlimited money or, you can come up with any variety of possible options, like be incredibly successful or something like that, or, wish for good health. Instead, you're like, I want, this person to get a unibrow, I don't think so. I would push the button easily. Easily. Your worst enemy is probably like Al-Qaeda, though. There's a question for you. They should have phrased it like that. You get 2 wishes, but Al-Qaeda gets the 3rd one. Would you push the button? I would push it, but for my second wish, I would undo their first wish. How about that one? But what if they wish that their wish was unreversible? You can't do that. That's baking in something to the wish. You can't wish like, I wish for unlimited resources and the protection for that wish to never be reversed. There's no end allowed in a wish. You can't put an end in a wish. I'm not answering that one. Okay, this one is just bad. Like, I just don't think it's a solid question. All disagreements are now resolved with an over-the-top dance-off, but you're really bad at dancing. Easiest not push the button in my entire life. Although the idea, well, you know what? All disagreements are now resolved. Resolved. So you're telling me that, like, yeah, there's no more war. Instead, the leaders of the country would just do a dance-off, and then, like, that would be that? I'm genuinely not trying to get controversial here. This sounds good to start with, but like, what if Hitler was an amazing dancer? Just because there was no World War II wouldn't mean that all the atrocities would be erased. He would just win the dance-off and then continue, spreading the axis of evil. So my personal take is that I'm not going to say like I'm content with things as they are, I suppose. I'm content with things as they are. I follow it through its logical conclusions here. Next question. Okay, this is honestly like, okay, you're going to make me seem like a baby here, okay? You'll achieve all your goals, but sometimes you'll feel sad at parties. That's called being a success. Sag. I achieved everything I wanted in life, but sometimes I get melancholy at parties. Get over it, you baby. People got real problems. Push the button. It's just crazy. You don't even need a loophole there. You're a success. You achieved all of your goals. But sometimes I get a little sad. I got a promotion at work, but it didn't make me happy literally every second of every day. Meh. Okay, sorry. Dude, I'm just going to be honest. Like, I'm skipping over some of these questions. There's a whole genre on this website that is basically like, hey, you have the best life of all time, but you're fat. Okay. I click the button. Yes. Of course. I'll just wear hoodies. Oh my God, dude. Here's a classic question for you. It's another, speaking of genres on this website, you can have sex with anyone you want from any universe at all, be it, and of course it starts with anime. No, they were just doing alphabetical order. No, they were doing in order of importance. Be it anime, book, movie, etc., etc. But you can only do it once and never again. Again, like... So it's one of those things where there is like no downside, but just out of principle, because I know there's going to be like 99 yes, I'm just going to hit no just to restore some faith in humanity. You can make anything you put your mind to. Art, food, writing, music, anime, but you only sleep an hour a day. The top comment here says, that's how much I get every day. You're a liar. You're a liar and nobody believes you. Isn't it easier to just grow a personality than trying to be the guy who's like, I get an hour of sleep a night? You don't. You're functional. Like, you do not get, if you're telling me you had 7 hours of sleep a week and you're still alive, I don't believe you. Anyway, it has 63 upvotes. I mean, I would say no. I think, to be honest with you, I would be miserable. I would be physically run down for forever. Could I make a bed so comfortable I could fall asleep in it instantly? I will not. Many people would, though. Poggy, I can make a grilled cheese sandwich. I just get 1/8 of the amount of sleep I need on a nightly basis. Poggy. You know, you can just, like, follow a recipe. Oh, my God. It's an essay, man. It's okay. This is a vomit-based question. Every day, a random amount of money is added to your bank account, ranging from 1 cent to, get this. I hope you're ready. I hope your little brains can handle this. A random amount of money is added to your bank account, ranging from 1 cent all the way up to the gargantuan sum of $100. Now, what do you need to do to get such a colossal reward? In order to gain the money, you must vomit twice every day. You can choose when you vomit, but you cannot choose how hard it'll be. It will never be life-threatening, but at its worst, you will vomit for 2.5 minutes straight. Your teeth and esophagus won't be damaged, and you could choose not to vomit at all on a given day. Okay, so they baked a lot into this. At least, like, it's an easy no if you didn't... Imagine if it was deal or no deal, and you had to vomit once just to see how much money they were going to give you. And then you could choose, like, is it worth vomiting a second time to get the full sum? Otherwise, you get nothing. Prisoner's dilemma. Puker's dilemma. Again, okay, you know what? You are right. There is no downside to this. You could just choose never to vomit. And I suppose if you really, really needed money and it doesn't hurt you, it's just unpleasant, then sure. I mean, I would push the button. I would never... I don't think there would be many... you know what? When I was like 15 or 14, there were probably some times I would have thrown up twice for $100 and bought like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas or something like that. And if you're sick, it's free money. You know, you're getting a special dividend payout. So I guess I would push the button and then just choose never to not... I would choose never to do it. Or only in extreme situations. Anyway, that's a weird question, though. It's a weird question. Can you imagine? That's such a sad life. Even if you got $100 a day for vomiting twice, can you imagine introducing yourself to somebody? Yeah, I just I just wake up in the morning, throw up twice, and then like go on with the rest of my day. And that's how I make my living. That's sad, man. Or maybe it's awesome. I don't know. I'm my own boss. You get the best gaming PC ever that upgrades itself when needed. But consoles die, and the only platforms of gaming are PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. So I'm going to be the guy who takes this too far, right? The free PC, okay, and it's an infinite PC. It stays great forever, right? However, you know how many jobs would be eliminated by, the entire console gaming market being eliminated? Maybe you're not supposed to think about that. Maybe you're just supposed to be like, I don't know, hey, frick Sony, frick Microsoft. I don't know. I don't think I would. I mean, free PC, don't get me wrong. I don't want console games to die though. I'm gonna hit no here. I was in the huge minority. Don't get me wrong, like I get the value of this. Just start streaming, forehead. Just do a new PC stream. Oh my God. You will become the sexiest, most seductive, and wanted human being on earth, but your nipples will become 6 inches long. I will not push the button. Not pushing the button on that one. The Joe Jonas button. 44% said yeah. I'm not even going to click off my screen region for this one. Here's what it says. You enjoy the refreshing taste of Coca-Cola, but you have to look at Pepsi cans. Okay? I don't even know what that means, but I'll push the button. Oh my God. You have an infinite supply of weed. But every time you smoke, a randomly chosen people die. Bro, you've got an infinite supply of weed, but hear me out. Every time you smoke, a randomly chosen people die. That's like, yeah, a people. Not just a person, like a whole culture is wiped out. I choose no. I don't even know what the top comment here. Sorry, I only know 3 languages. Sarcasm, English, and Doge much language, such grammar. Wow. Welcome to the internet. That's the top comment. I don't even know what that freaking means, man. This is like a time capsule to the old internet. Doge much language, such grammar. Wow. It's like the phrase, you can hear God whisper that in your ear when you're about to die. Will you press the button? You become ruler of the world, but you hear country music all the time? So I don't want to be anti-country music. I listened to it like a lot when I was a kid. But I went to a Twitch homepage the other day and they were playing a concert. And I said, I'll listen to this a little bit. And I really feel like the genre really has not changed at all, right? Like from the 90s. Like it's still all about just like the song was like, God bless the country girls, God bless the something, God bless the wide open throttles and long neck bottles. And I'm like, it's been 30 years. The only thing that's changed is they don't have mustaches anymore. Instead, they have sleeve tattoos. Like, it's just, that's Florida Georgia line. They're trash. Okay, yeah, okay, you got me. That was Florida Georgia line. You got me good. All right, I know. I mean, if you like the music, I guess that's what you're saying, Apollo, you know, in a less polite way. But it's like, you know, if you don't, if you like the music, you're like, hey, why would I ever want anything new? I like Sturgill Simpson. Yeah, okay, I like Sturgill Simpson. And hey, Joanna Newsom. Isn't Joanna Newsom? She's kind of Joanna Newsom. She's country. She's a country harpist. She's kind of country. She's gone country. Look at them harps. Anyway, I would push the button. This doesn't bother me. I'll just listen to that one album that Loretta Lynn did with Jack White. All the time. No problem. Ruler of the world, man. And Chattahoochee. Next question, please. Weird question. This question was written by someone who wears a tack vest at their computer. There is a zombie apocalypse and you are left with unlimited ammunition and any gun of your choice while immune to any infection. Even like gingivitis. But all of your friends and family are infected. You are shunned by any survival groups and factions, but have to survive alone. So, you know how we have a lot of buttons that are no downside? This one is the rare no upside. The question has been constructed in such a way that if you push the button, you are just a bad person. So, let's just tease it out. What is the benefit of this? The benefit of this is you get a gun of your choice, unlimited ammunition, and then also, I guess, a casus belli to murder people. The downside is that the entire world is plunged into an unfathomable apocalypse. And yes, including your friends and family. And also people think you're a loser and tell you to F off. I am going to say that I would not push the button and plunge the world into a cataclysmic amount of disarray just to practice shooting live targets. You are a weirdo. I give you heavy weirdo energy, and I encourage you to please talk to somebody. Your family is worried about you. You can become immortal, but you can only eat wasabi for the rest of your life. Weird question. Let's assume that I have to eat to live still. Let's bake that assumption in. Or I could be like, every minute could be misery. I could live forever, but I would be starving the whole time if I didn't eat. So I would have to eat wasabi. It's a tough question, to be honest. Wasabi, I like the flavor of wasabi, but to eat, let's say, 1,500 to 2,000 calories of it a day, I can't even imagine. That's probably like, we're probably looking at like a, I don't know, like 2 liters of wasabi every day? Jeez Louise. Immortality, I know that some people are like, I'm not that into it. But there's some temptation, for sure, with immortality. I wouldn't say it's a downside to become immortal necessarily. But you may only eat... I think I would say no. I think I would rather have a normal life and not... Because it's not like wasabi is like, oh, it's kind of icky. It's like, even like a thimble full of wasabi is going to... you're going to feel like the inside of your nostrils being tickled for like 5 minutes. It's the kind of it's got that kind of spice that makes your throat itchy. So I'm gonna hit this with a heavy no personally. You don't need to eat though? Yeah, but if you didn't eat, you would get hungry and then you'd live forever freaking starving to death. That sounds like torture. It's only a liter of wasabi. It's still pretty bad. There's such heavy, mall ninja energy coming off some of these questions, man. You control everything except other people and their free will. I don't even know, what does that mean? Like I can make McDonald's bring back the McRib or something? I control the laws of physics, but I don't control other people. Like I don't get what you're. I mind control doesn't exist, but I can like move a cup across the room. Anyway, but everyone you ever saw in life, including loved ones, die, and you must start a new life. No, I will not. Top comment says die. B apostrophe 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 apostrophe. Scary. These people are out here living life. These questions are so weird, man. You can time travel, but you can only go to the past, and every time you do that, you get sicker. Coughs/bleeding/cuts. Oh, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. What happened? Oh, I got time travel cuts. Dang old rhinovirus cut up my arms a little bit. Every time you do it, you get sicker. It's a little open-ended, but I'm thinking if you could time travel once and you get a little bit of a cough, let's say, like a habitual cough that's, benign except for the fact that you have a cough now, that's a pretty big upside, man. You can't return? Well, you could just travel back in time like 2 years and just wait, You can just travel back in time once, invest in Bitcoin at its low, and then reap the rewards on the way up. Yeah, win the lottery, like there's a million. Buy GameStop, etc., etc. So many different things you could do. Yeah, absolutely I pushed the button. 40% would push the button. 60% said no. These kids, they don't have the adult cognition and decision-making powers. They don't have the powers of adult analysis. Unlimited resources in exchange for a cough, I sleep. I can have sex with a cartoon character, but, my skull will cave in? 99%. I pushed the button 30 times. Can I push it more than once? You have the ability to read anyone's mind, but everyone knows you have the ability to. The top comment here is so good. People would know that I can read minds, and they'd pay me $5 to figure out who likes who. King of the middle school. Pay me $5 to figure out who likes who. You have the ability to read anyone's mind. What would you do with it? Make $5. That's the kind of entrepreneurial spirit we need from Gen Z. You're omnipotent. What would you do with it? Start a business where I sell people's thoughts for $5. Anyway, sorry. Honestly, so it seems like there's not much downside to this. I actually think it would be kind of annoying. For the most part, and I don't know if this is like an adult thing. As a kid, like when I was in that age group as the person with the business idea here, I wanted to know what people think. Of course, who's got a crush on who is valuable info. Oh, did my friends secretly hate me, etc., etc. I honestly just am not really that interested in what people think on a regular basis now. Like I don't really care. At least from an interpersonal standpoint. Maybe you could read their minds and do some insider trading, or you get the idea. But it seems annoying to have everybody know you could read their mind, because I think they would start treating you like garbage, right? I think they'd be like, "Hey, stop reading my thoughts," and you'd be like, "You're not that interesting. You're just thinking about cheeseburgers and breasts all day long." It's not that special. So just like, can you just treat me like I'm a normal human being and I'm not like from Professor Xavier's School for the Gifted? Like, just treat me like I wouldn't push the button. I don't want to push the button. 76% said yes. On the one hand, though, you could people would know that I can, and they pay $5 to figure out who likes who. I forgot to mention they did put $7 signs after that. $5. $5, $7 signs. $1.4 signs per buck. Oh, baby.